Fatherhood forever. Super kings, kingmakers, super dads, kings and princes, more power. Fathers need their sons. Sons need their fathers. And what do we all need? Well, wealth would be a good idea, and poverty would be a bad idea. Let's think about this one. This one's called revenge. To pay the price of poverty for the taste of revenge is more than you assume a man would do. To give up opportunity that would overcome poverty is not the choice a good man would pursue. Okay, let's consider line one. Who would choose poverty? Who would give up on opportunity? Seems like an easy decision to make. But some of us, at some point in our lives, may come to that place, that crossroad, where we have to choose between life and death. And then discover it's not as simple as you think. Now, Marvin Gaye enjoyed a life of success and could have enjoyed much more life and much more success. But Marvin Gaye was famously killed by his father. Marvin, apparently in the final week, provoked his father very much. Marvin even provided the gun that his father used to kill him. It was kept in a drawer in the family home, easily accessible. Complicated, yes. Revenge is complicated. In France, crimes of passion carry a lesser sentence because it's understood that someone driven by revenge is in a different state of mind to someone driven, say, by a desire to steal or rob or defraud. For father and sons who need to say sorry or I forgive you, there is no substitute for those words, for those sentiments. But this is very difficult, extremely difficult emotional work. And we've seen Iana Van Zandt try to help DMX resolve years of resentment between him and his son. And Iana Van Zandt failed. DMX tried, and he failed. These are massive challenges. Andrew Buchanan, at age 15, was a boy genius. He managed successfully to get into one of the best schools in the country, where all his fellow pupils were rich. He was poor, but he got into the school because of his brilliance. He was destined for a life of success. But then Andrew Buchanan had a reason to be disappointed in his father, to be angry with his father. And when his reasonable anger and reasonable disappointment turned to unreasonable revenge, Andrew Buchanan chose a life of self-destruction. He went on to kill 5 people, the last of which was Gianni Versace. And then Andrew Buchanan killed himself. This is not a problem experienced only in rich families. Revenge is a problem in small families. But in poor families. But in poor families, perhaps they just fall apart. Fathers and sons go their separate ways. Mothers and brothers and sisters go their separate ways before things become tragic. Maybe. Rich families, however, have another incentive for finding resolution. they run the risk of falling apart financially when, for example, fathers and sons have major emotional, financial, and other rifts. And so the question of how to repent or say sorry or I forgive you is a bigger question than we can deal with here and now. But let's just consider one small point. Is it possible, is it reasonable to make peace for the sake of wealth, for the sake of the family stability, for the sake of business? It happens with rap artists, for example, who squash beef for the sake of business, or Hollywood stars who squash the beef for the sake of business. It even happens with sovereign nations who come to peaceful resolutions after years of bloodshed in order to keep their economies going. So let me tell you a story. Son says, Dad, how much will you pay me to forgive you? Dad says, every penny I have. Son says, how much is that then? Dad says, £150. Son says, prepare to die. Yes, it's real, kingmakers and super dads, and it's going to get realer. There isn't any point skirting around the issues. Our society, men in particular, they say, are in crisis. So if we're in crisis, let's talk about the crisis. Somebody say something. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this subject. And once again, thank you, kingmakers. Thank you, super dads, kings and princes, for your likes and your shares and your donations and your comments. And subscribers get the free MP3 house music premix Speakology spoken word download. Do it today. Do it now. Fatherhood for life.